Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I created this slightly more wearable makeup look, hopefully you agree. It's just a soft smoky eye, it's sort of maroon colours, and it's from the Tartelette in Bloom palette using the bottom row. So if you want to see how I did this, then just keep on watching. Alright, I'm off now. Bye bye. So we're going to be using the Tartelette in Bloom palette, and we're going to be using the bottom row, which consists of the shadows Funny Girl, Sweetheart, Rebel and Leader. It's the kind of burgundy maroon, the pink line at the bottom there. I've started already by setting crease to brow bone with the shade Charmer, which is just the pure white-ish one up the top there. But the rest, I promise, will be the other row. Now I'm sincerely hoping that this is a more easy look and that it doesn't take forever to do, but you know, we'll see, because I do seem to have a bit of a habit. I do. Let's start with the shade Sweetheart above the crease. Using my Eco Tools crease brush, just following the shape of the eye here. If my face looks a bit crazy, it's just my face, it's just the way I was born. Or I've got a bit of excess powder around the shop because I just don't want to deal with fallout in case it happens. I just don't want to deal with it. And take it on the lower lash line too. You can smoke that as low as you like it for your own personal preference. I sort of didn't take my concealer up right to my lashes because I anticipated that I was going to smoke it out a bit there, and just generally speaking, it makes my wrinkles a little less obvious if I've got less product. Less cream product there. So just a sort of rough sketch at the minute, and now we're going to go in with the shade, the next one along, which is a slightly darker version of the same kind of colour, and it's called Rebel. And we're going to do what we normally do, which is build in the crease just slightly lower than that first colour. But with this one, we're not going to take it as far across. 3/4 or less across towards your inner eye. And this one can come onto the lid 1/3 of the way, and of course underneath. Underneath, about as far as you went on the top. So we're really just mirroring the top to the bottom at the moment. And that was for sure darker than I wanted to go, but whatevs, we'll fix it later. I'm a big queen of fixing stuff later. Just take a bit of the lightest shade in the palette, and I'm going to smudge out where I went a little bit heavier than I intended. A little bit of correction over here. Good as new. Never happened. Who done it? Who did what? Not me. I not doing it, not me. Okay, so let's just take a clean blending brush and give that a bit of a blend so we can see what we've got, so that we can see what we're working with. Blend, 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 blend. Okay, so let's go into the darker shade, Leader, and we're just going to sort of put it in the V, the outer V. And we're using a small pencil brush for this. This one's a Wayne Goss one. So we're tap, tap, tapping right in the outer V here. We don't want any of this anywhere other than exactly where we put it. So let's run it close to the lower lash line here. So you can see I actually created a V shape coming up from my lower lashes to my crease. And now I'm just gently blending it with this pencil brush. Later on I'm going to go in with a bigger fluffy brush. But for now I'm still trying to be relatively precise. So now you just have to sort of play here a bit and try and get them even, which is usually the bit where I end up doing more than I intend to, because I put too much on one and then I have to even it up on the other, and then So, you know, just fiddle around a bit until it's pretty even. So now I take the crease brush that's still got a little bit of residue product on it from the other colours that we've been using, and I'm buffing that very gently in exactly the same spot. So really don't move your brush around too much. Just buff on top of the product, little circles. Then once you've blended it out a bit and there's not too much excess product that's going to be able to move around, you can take a bigger, fluffier brush and get all of the edges. This is a clean blending brush. Sigma E40 tapered blending brush, the one that I use for this particular task. You have to make sure that you get the edges around here really good. So the same thing here with this step. As you're going along and blending, often the colours can sort of get a bit lighter, so just even it up where you see one side being darker than the other, if that happens to you. And if it doesn't, you're some kind of magical genius. And now we're going to take the shimmery shade in this line, which is Funny Girl, and we're going to use some Max Fix Plus, the way that I use it in the little dish. You're going to need a flat shader brush, so like this one here. We're going to wet the brush in the Max Fix Plus and then pick up some of that Funny Girl shadow. We'll be placing it on the bare area. And I don't really want to come any further over than halfway. Then just let it dry a little bit before trying to slightly blend out the edges. Okay, so now just blend out the edges of that, which it shouldn't need too much because if you kind of blended it as you put it on, which is what I did. Now I'm going to do the inner corner and brow bone highlight, just using a small pencil brush. And I'm using the highlight which is on my face, which is quite a gold one, just to sort of match the gold. And it's this Prosecco Pop from the Jaclyn Hill Champagne Pop Face Palette. This is a really customizable look, so you could go as dark or as light as you want really. Alright, I wanted a bit more of a brightening effect in there because that gold is quite similar to the rest of the eyeshadow, so it wasn't popping enough for me. So I'm taking a white pencil, this one's by MAC, and I'm just doing the teeniest little bit of white in the very tear duct, and then I was searching high and low for a really bright white sort of shadow, but I can't find one. Like a shiny one. I'm going to put a bit of the Balm Mary Luminizer over that and hope that it's bright enough. I'm highlighting my inner corner highlight, but that is better. Now we're going to line the upper and lower waterline. So for the upper, I'm going to use a black waterproof pencil. This is a Stylo by Lancome. And for the bottom waterline, I'm going to be using a Stylo Yeux by Chanel, and that will be in the shade 20, which is a really dark brown. So black on the upper, brown on the lower. I've lined the upper waterline and now I'm going to line the lower waterline. And that's pretty much the eyes done. So just pop some mascara on. I'll be using my Faux Sills Lancome one, Shocking. And yes, no falsies, so generous with the mascara. I'll be keeping the lips relatively simple, using the Whirl lip liner from MAC and Hug Me, which is a great lipstick. Just going to smooth that out with my finger a little bit. If you haven't watched my video on these lipsticks, not only should you, but let me just tell you. Oh, I love this colour. It's very, very nice. Spritz, 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 set that face. Max Fix Plus. I will be back. I will be back. Alright guys, thanks so much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial and I will see you in my next one. Bye. So that we can see what we're working with. Wow, that was a little bit too enthusiastic. This is a Stylo by Lancome. This is a Stylo by Lancome. Oh. Today I created, no, absolutely not.